Welcome back. It's kind of a bit of a different video. There are just some things going on in America, and I'm sure in other parts of the world as well. But specifically in America, we have freedom. And we have constitutional freedom that the Constitution protects our freedoms. And yesterday I had a bad experience that really upset me. One of the reasons why I didn't upload yesterday. I apologize. But if we are free... Alright, let me back up a little bit. Our Heavenly Father, okay, has given us free will. And if God does not infringe on our free will, okay, and God is the tippy top of authority, okay, He is the number one, numero uno. There is no one higher than Him, no one greater. King of kings, Lord of lords, Alpha, Omega, beginning, you know. So that being said, if God Himself is not infringing on my authority, on my freedom, then what gives man the right or the notion that they think that they can dictate my freedom? And I do not believe any man, not even the President of the United States, can dictate my freedom to me. You can't tell me how I am to live my life. Yes, there are certain laws so that, you know, we're not hurting one another or, you know, damaging things, but other than that, basically my situation was I tried to go to a state park on a nice sunny day, which is something the president himself has said is a good thing to do, and a police officer told me that I couldn't do that. And I was very upset because I knew my rights were being violated for no reason other than because she had a gun and I can't defend myself against a gun, so I'm obviously gonna listen to her. But it's still not right to use your false authority to control people's movements and tell them what they can and can't do in a free society. Is not a free society. I'm still upset about it. But it really, something was like familiar about it. And, you know, I went back into the Word and I was reminded of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego when King Nebuchadnezzar built this big statue, and, you know, he told all his subjects to, you know, bow down to it. And I kind of feel like this corona is like, oh, you know, we all have to bow down to its, you know, mysterious, ooh, it's out there, it's gonna get you, you gotta be afraid, you gotta stay home. But we are free. If you are an American citizen, or you were born in America, you are free. You have the right to go out as you please. Yes, they may suggest that you stay home, but you have 100% right to go out. Now here's the thing. Okay, if the government was really so concerned with our lives, okay, they would ban cigarettes, they would ban alcohol, they wouldn't have half the pharmaceutical drugs that they do. They're not really concerned about our well-being. What they're really more concerned about is controlling us. And loved ones, that is a slippery slope. And if they start dictating little things, including where we can go and gather, little freedoms, they are beginning to erode our little civil liberties. And if we do not begin to push back, even with force, then we will lose our rights before we can even realize they are gone. This is a serious time in America. We cannot just sit on our hands, stay at home, and hope this is all going to blow over. That's what they want, because while we sleep in our beds, they are taking ground and they are taking our rights away. I, for one, am not going to allow it, and I will do anything and everything in my power to stop them. They are basically taking steps toward another revolutionary war, and I will not have that. We cannot bend our knee to this false authority that they are trying to take hold of, that to try and control our lives and manipulate us through this boogeyman that they call coronavirus. It has such a low death mortality rate, it's a joke. But yet we're cowering in fear like it's the bubonic plague, like you even go outside, you're gonna die. And that's a lie. I've been out so many times, I've been all around, haven't gotten it once. Do not be afraid of anything in this time. Listen to what Yeshua is telling us. He is the authority. And if the government, whomever they may be, could be a police officer, could be your governor, mayor, senator, Congress, I don't care their position. If they are going against our constitutional rights, they have no authority in my opinion. They are null and void because they are civil servants. If they are not serving us, then they are serving themselves. And we need to get those type of people out of our government. And I know this is very different. I normally don't talk about political things. But I have just gotten so upset with how the government is being run right now. It's a slippery slope, government. Don't tread on me. Don't tread on any of us. We are free. You have to remember that. And if you don't, and if you haven't learned from history, then you are doomed to repeat it. And I know how that turns out. You will lose 100% of the time. Because good always conquers evil. I know this was more of like a rant, but things are changing and not for the good, and we have to keep our eyes open and be awake in this time, and perhaps even be ready to fight if necessary. Now, I'm not condoning fighting for no reason, and I'm not condoning just random violence. But, you know, I do believe if push comes to shove and the government does try to take our rights, then yes, we have constitutional authority that says we can take them out of office, either through electing or by force. That's part of why we have the Second Amendment. And I pray it never happens, and I pray that we never have to go to war. But they continue to take steps down that path. And any free man and woman can clearly see that our rights are being eroded by a tyrannical government. And it will not stand. I support Trump in everything that he does, but the leftist Democrats are constantly attacking him. This is the time we need to support our president the most, because he has been under constant attack. The Democrats will not win because the enemy is running rampant in our government and in our country. We have to uplift the name of Yeshua. His name has to reign in this country. Things are different. But remember, loved ones, you are loved. And don't be afraid. Stay strong in the truth. Know your rights. Know the Constitution and know what Yeshua is saying. Excuse me. In this time, know what he's saying. It is so important. Thank you for listening. I love you all. Peace.